For all things health and fitness, this is the Army Gymnastics Podcast.
The Army Gymnastics Podcast.
Discover a fitter, healthier you at armygymnastics.com.
Welcome to the Army Gymnastics Podcast. Today we're diving deep into some really compelling new research.
Absolutely. We're looking at something quite hidden.
Yeah, uncovering a hidden protein that seems to play a pretty big role maybe in fueling heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
And just think about the scale here. I mean, nearly half of all adults in the U.S. are dealing with high blood pressure, hypertension,
Yeah,
right?
Staggering, truly.
And then there's this sort of silent threat, aortic aneurysms, these weaknesses in the body's main artery.
Often undetected until it's too late.
Exactly. They lead to about, 15,000 deaths in the U.S. every year?
That's the number, yeah. It's significant.
These aren't just stats, it's people's lives. So understanding what's going on underneath fundamentally is just so critical.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's really our mission for this deep dive. We're going to try and unpack a newly discovered biological pathway.
Involving a very specific protein.
Right. And what this breakthrough could, potentially mean for finding new ways to fight these conditions.
There's definitely a sense of hope here for new treatments down the line.
Okay, so let's start with maybe the broader context. Oxidative stress. That term comes up a lot with vascular disease.
It does, yeah. And it's a key factor when we talk about things like hypertension and these aortic aneurysms.
So in simple terms, what is oxidative stress?
Well, basically, it's when our cells are exposed over time to these harmful molecules. They're called reactive oxygen species.
Reactive oxygen species. Okay.
Yeah, think of it like a sort of constant low-level attack on your cells. Tiny stressors accumulating, causing damage over years.
Like a cellular wear and tear almost.
That's a decent way to think about it, yeah. A kind of internal rusting, if you like, but biological.
Okay, so how does that stress, the cellular damage, actually connect to high blood pressure and those dangerous aneurysms?
Well, this constant exposure, this sustained attack by these reactive molecules, it can actually injure the cells lining our blood vessels.
The lining itself.
Exactly. And for hypertension, high blood pressure, that damage can make the arteries, less flexible, stiffer, more constricted.
Makes sense. Harder for blood to flow.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Blood pressure goes up. Now, for aortic aneurysms, these balloon-like bulges in the aorta,
Yeah.
oxidative stress is also a really crucial part of that story. It can progressively weaken the walls of the aorta.
Weaken the actual structure.
Right. Making them more likely to stretch, to dilate, and then critically to rupture.
Which, as you said, is often fatal.
Extremely high risk, yes.
So it's this concerning chain reaction starting right down at the cellular level. Now, the research we're digging into today really zooms in on one particular protein in this whole picture.
That's right. The absolute central focus of this new research is a protein called DUSP3.
DUSP3, okay. What's so special about it?
Well, what's really exciting here is that the researchers have identified a previously unknown pathway.
A pathway, like a series of steps inside the cell.
Exactly. A biological pathway is like a chain reaction, one molecule interacting with the next to cause something specific to happen.
And this one was hidden.
Until now, yeah. They found this new sequence where DUSP3 plays a really critical regulatory role.
Regulating what?
Regulating how our blood vessels actually respond when they're under that oxidative stress we were talking about.
Wow, so it's like a control switch?
Kind of like finding a hidden dimmer switch. Yeah, and a really complex system that controls a vital function. It's quite a discovery.
And this is solid research, published.
Oh, yes. This finding was published in a top journal, the Journal of Clinical Investigation, just recently, May 1st, 2025.
Okay, May 1st. So brand new findings. A completely new piece of the puzzle then.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they didn't just find this theoretically, did they? They actually tested it somehow.
Precisely. That's another key part.
Yeah.
To really understand this DUSP3 pathway, the team actually created a new laboratory model.
A specific model.
Yeah, specifically designed to study both hypertension and aortic aneurysms together.
Interesting. To see it in action.
Right. It allowed them to watch, in detail, what was happening at the cellular level in these conditions.
And the most significant part.
Well, what's really exciting is that within this lab model, they were actually able to treat both conditions.
Treat them, huh?
By specifically targeting that DUSP3 protein.
Wait, so by going after DUSP3, they could manage the hypertension and the aneurysms in their model?
That's what the findings show, yes.
Yeah.
They saw improvements in the model when they targeted DUSP3.
That sounds Well, that sounds like a really substantial step forward, at least in the lab environment.
It is. It strongly suggests that this newly discovered role for DUSP3, it really could pave the way for new therapeutic options.
For both high blood pressure and these dangerous aneurysms.
Exactly. And if you connect that back to the bigger picture, the sheer number of people affected by hypertension, the seriousness of aneurysms, a targeted approach like this holds, well, significant promise. It sort of challenges our old understanding. It suggests DUSP3 isn't just like a bystander or a marker of damage. It seems to be an active regulator, something we might actually be able to influence.
Right, not just a symptom, but part of the control mechanism.
Precisely.
Absolutely. Because it's one thing to understand why something happens at the cellular level, but then to actually intervene successfully, even in a lab model, that feels like a major leap.
It is a significant leap, yes.
So looking ahead then, what's the potential impact here? What happens next? Where does the research go?
Well, the potential significance is, it's hard to overstate, really. Given how widespread hypertension is, how deadly aneurysms can be, this opens up a whole new avenue.
For treatments, you mean?
For developing treatments, yes.
Yeah.
The big question now is, if we can effectively target this DSP3 pathway in humans, could we create better drugs?
Drugs that don't just manage symptoms, but maybe tackle the root cause.
Potentially. Therapies that could maybe manage hypertension more effectively or even, prevent or possibly reverse aortic aneurysms. That's the hope. Obviously, further research is absolutely critical. It's quite humbling, isn't it? That something as tiny as a single protein could hold such a key.
Definitely. But it's not a straightforward path from the lab to the clinic, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. There are key hurdles, for sure. We need to understand the precise mechanisms of how DUSP3 works in much more detail.
Find specific ways to target it safely.
Exactly. Explore potential drug targets within this pathway, and then eventually, move towards clinical trials in people, testing for safety, testing for efficacy. That takes time.
Of course. But still, a truly exciting prospect. It just highlights how that deep fundamental research down at the molecular level can lead to potentially huge breakthroughs for major health problems.
Couldn't agree more. Understanding these really intricate cellular mechanisms is it's crucial for moving medical science forward.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. To bring it all together, our deep dive today looked at some pretty groundbreaking new research.
Identifying that hidden role for the DUSP3 protein.
Right, a previously unknown role in how our blood vessels handle the damage from oxidative stress.
And the exciting part is what it points towards.
Yeah. Potential new ways, new strategies for treating two really common and serious conditions, hypertension and aortic aneurysms.
And the fact they could successfully target DUSP3 in that new lab model, that offers some genuine hope for more effective therapies down the road.
What's really fascinating for me is just the reminder, that even in areas like heart disease, which we think we know a lot about, there are still these hidden pathways.
Still waiting to be discovered, yeah.
Yeah.
And finding them can completely change how we approach treatment.
It's a powerful thought to end on, isn't it? It really makes you wonder, what other fundamental bits of cell machinery are still out there?
Waiting to be understood.
Yeah. Keys that could unlock even more medical advances. Definitely something for you, the listener, to consider. For expert fitness advice and personalized plans, visit armygymnastics.com, your go-to resource to reach your goals. Start your journey today at armygymnastics.com.
Thanks for listening. For all things health and fitness, subscribe to our newsletter today. Find out more at armygymnastics.com.